Picture this. You're a farmer in East Africa, selling your produce to local markets. But conditions are changing every year. Weather gets more unpredictable, consumer preferences are changing, and last week, locusts began eating your harvest. So, how do you react? You can't. Not yet. Like any professional, you need information and fast. But without a TV or smartphone, and with minimal computer access, there's only one way to get it: radio. In Africa, radio was the primary source of information. This is especially true for rural populations. By large majority, these are food-producing communities or farmers, and oftentimes impoverished, they rely on the land to survive. My name is Hannah Tellier. I'm a graduating student of International Development at the University of Waterloo from Waterloo, Ontario, and as a radio resources assistant with Farm Radio International, my role is to help bridge that informational gap. Farm Radio International was created in 1975 when Canadian broadcaster George Atkins traveled to Zambia to run a workshop. While chatting with a colleague from Sierra Leone, George was surprised to learn that this man's next broadcast would be about tractors. George asked the man how many farmers within broadcast range use a tractor. The answer was about 10 of 800,000. At the time, African broadcasters just didn't have access to locally relevant agricultural information and resources. So broadcasts were based on European and North American radio scripts, and these reflected a completely different reality. So, after a year of research across Africa, George sent out his first package of radio scripts by mail to 34 broadcasters in 26 African nations, and so Farm Radio International was born. Today, Farm Radio partners with more than 1,000 radio stations in 41 African nations, and true to our roots, our written resources build broadcasters' capacity to serve the informational needs of rural listeners. Some, like our scripts, radio dramas, and interviews, can be read directly on air. Others teach new skills in farming and broadcasting alike. Each helps to facilitate precise, engaging, and contextually relevant radio, while encouraging broadcasters to stretch the bounds of their programming, to feature the voices of women, take on harmful taboos, and help rural communities thrive. As a student of international development at the University of Waterloo, and thanks to the program Uniterra, I had the privilege to volunteer with the Senegal office of Farm Radio for 4 months. During this time, I was based in the beautiful coastal city of Dakar, a wonderful city bathed in sunshine, surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean, and pulsing with activity. In my daily work, I contributed to the many written resources of Farm Radio, conducting interviews, writing stories, and curating resources, now online as a part of our biweekly publication, Barzawire. But our work didn't stop there. Farm Radio also engages in face-to-face, online, and self-guided trainings. During an average week, I would support my team in organizing and facilitating these events, helping broadcasters to apply our resources and improve program quality. Even after years studying international development, years working for newspapers in Canada, I underestimated the role of communication in development. But agriculture is more than putting seeds in the ground. Agriculture is a science, and requires up-to-date and relevant scientific information. Armed with the right information, farmers can learn from their peers across the continent and improve their practices in a changing world. Remember, farmers put food on the table in their communities and beyond. Without the work of these professionals, no other form of development would be possible. I have loved my time working with Farm Radio International. Traveling to the rural zones of Senegal, meeting and working with broadcasters has been one of the most transformative and instructive experiences of my life. Through it all, if I've learned just one thing, it's that the role of communication in development is central, and broadcasters are its champions. In the absence of other technologies and in an era of fake news, broadcasters are trusted voices, often the sole channel for expert information, and just as important, a platform for voices of the local community. At Farm Radio, we support radio by the people, for the people, and it changes lives every day.